This one's got 3 parts to it. $34. All right, so 3 parts to this one, and each one of those parts, well, let's look at it. What shape of a graph is this one going to be? A line. Yep, linear. How about this one? It's going to turn out to be a dot. If I were to graph that whole thing, it would have been a constant or horizontal line. And how about this one? Linear again. Okay, so let's put the red one on here first. So if this one would be y equals 2x plus 5. So I would start at 5. And my slope is going to be up 2 over 1. All right, so there's my red line. My green one, that's the easier of 3. I've got -3, and it's going to be a horizontal line. Like you said, it's going to end up getting narrowed down to just a dot. And then my blue one, where does its y-intercept at? 0. And then its slope, yeah, very steep, down 5 over 1. All right. Where am I supposed to be using the red graph? Okay, so from -3, and then until 0. So the rest of it. All right, the green one, you guys told me, was just a dot. A dot where? 0. Okay, and then the blue one, 0 up. Okay, so I get kind of a weird looking graph here. So now I just have to go back and fill in solid lines, or solid dots and open dots. So I'm going to have a solid dot at the -3 part of the red one, but an open dot at the 0. For the green one, it's just a solid dot all on its own. And the blue one has an open dot there, and then an arrow that goes on forever. So you should have a graph that looks like that. How they do? Excellent. All right. 36.
Work on like graphing them, or we're going to go through like the questions?
Oh, I didn't even see those parts up there. All right, yeah, let's go over the questions. They won't take long, though. Hey, let's look back at this one again. All right, so this one says, find the domains. What x's am I allowed to have? What's the smallest x I'm allowed to have? Included? Yes. Yep. All right, and then is everything taken care of all the way up? Yep, 0 is the only question, but do I have, if I did the vertical line test, would it hit at least 1 point at 0? Yep, the green one. And then is it going to hit up at least 1 point everywhere else? Yep. So it's going to go to infinity. All right. B, what's that? Intercepts. All right, do I have any? How about x-intercepts? I have one. It doesn't look very nice. Let's come back to that. Y-intercepts, those are easy. Where's my y-intercept going to be? 0, -3. It's just that point. All right, x-intercepts, we got to work a little bit. Which one am I looking at? Red, blue, or green? red. So that's the one I want to pull down here. All right, and then how do you find x-intercept? Let y equals 0. So 0 equals 2x plus 5. Subtract 5 from both sides. We get negative 5 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. X is negative 5 over 2, which is negative 2.5. Now, let's look back to make sure that makes sense. Does that look like it's probably negative 2.5? Yeah. But since it was in between, it was hard to tell. So you knew it was some type of fraction, but you could figure it out algebraically. All right, so that wasn't so bad. Not as bad as it looked. C. Graph. Check. D. Wants the range. All right, so what's the smallest y value that I can have? Negative infinity. All right, and then I'm covered everywhere up through this blue one, and then the red one kind of takes over. When does it stop? 5 included? No. E. Is it continuous on its domain? Clearly not. No. Now we're moving on. 36. This one just has 2 parts. All right, so to the left of 0, well, let's just graph both these graphs. What's the first one? Yep, reciprocal. Looks a little bit different. That one is this one. What's the other one look like? So it'd be at 0, 0. If I plugged in 1, if I plugged in 8, I would get 2. So it's looking like that. And then it's also that. All right, so where do I stop using 1 and start using the other? At 0. And which one am I supposed to use where? Red one to the left or to the right? Left. So I need to get rid of the red one to the right. And then the green one, I need to get rid of to the left. Which is not confusing. Yeah, one more. Oh, fail. Okay, all's right again. So I end up with this, and then where do I end up with the solid dot? Yep, on the origin. Okay, that makes a good picture. And then we just have to answer the question. So domain, for what values am I allowed to have for an x? Negative infinity for sure.
You know if that line touches it?
The red one will never touch it because the 0 is an asymptote. But
The 0 is covered.
But 0 is covered by the green dot, so I'm good. So I'm good for everywhere. Good. All right, B, we want intercepts. 0, 0 is the only one. It's the x and the y intercept. C, check. D, we want the range. So what's the smallest value I can have? Negative infinity. What's the largest value I can have? infinity, because this green line is on its way up. It's just going to take a really long time to get up to infinity. And then the only place that looks like there could be a potential break is at 0, but because that green dot is solid, 0 is taken care of. So we're good. Negative infinity. And then E wants to know, is it continuous everywhere? Nope. Not continuous on its domain, because I had to lift up my pencil at 0. So this one again is no. This first line, or first graph, what is it? It is a line. And so let's graph it. So where will it cross the y-axis? Positive 2. What's its slope? Negative 1, so down 1 over 1. Looking on this diagonal here. Some trash talking going on? All right, who still has this? All right, we're still good. Everybody's in. All right. Then what does this graph look like? Sort of a parabola. Not a B.
No.
Fail, fail. All right, who else? Who's still in?
I don't know. I had like a weird like S thing.
On both sides? Okay, Jim is still in.
Oh,
Jim is still in.
what's up?
So it's at 0, 0. If I plug the 1 in, square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3, so we get this thing. Still in? Oh, there's no way playing. You're in or you're out?
I'm out.
Did you have that?
I have it now.
No, Chris is out. Avery?
No, I
Out.
didn't. I had it.
Jim, you're my lone savior here.
Whatever, Jim.
I got my fingers crossed.
We'll take this to the test.
I just confused my
We'll take this to the test.
All right, where
Grade on the test.
where do I start using the red line? Negative 3. So it's coming down here. Where do I stop using it? At 1.
I had that part.
Okay, so I don't need the rest of it. All right, and then where do I start using the green line? Greater than 1, not including 1.
Pretty sure you probably just keep up with it.
I want to make sure that I copied this thing correctly. So I'm feeling like I did not. Oh, I did. I think disappointed. Okay. Solid dot here, open dot there for the green, and the red is open on 1. I was hoping that we would have a continuous one. Nope, but we fail. All right, so the first one is A, domain. What's the smallest x I'm allowed to have? Negative 3. Included? Yes. And then is everything covered all the way up to infinity?
Yes.
No. Where is it? Where is there a spot that I don't have an x?
Oh.
1. So I go up to 1, not included, and then I pick back up on 1 and go to infinity. That hole causes problems. All right, B, intercepts. No x-intercept. Y-intercept. C, check D. They want the range. What's the smallest value of y I can have? 1, but not included, because I'm working my way up, but since it's an open dot at 1, not included, and then how high can I go? Infinity, because again, this green line is going up. It's just going to take a lot of right to get up to infinity, but it will get there. E, is it continuous everywhere on the domain? No, because of that hole at 1. Otherwise, we could have put yes there. All right, did you make it?
Fail.
All right, Jim,
I failed.
star for the day.
Jim.
We can treat this like, whose line is it anyways? You get 50,000 points today. Points don't matter.
It don't matter.
All right, any other questions on the homework? All right.